I went on Reddit and I asked for your mods for the HD600, 650, and 6XX, and you gave me some interesting things. Let's talk about it. These are actually from the Reddit user Pud, who you've probably seen before. I'm gonna get to these at the end. There's a couple more I'm going to test out first, but the way this series works is you give me your headphone mods, I 3D print them or whatever else it is you want me to do, and then I will measure them, tell you how they did. So if you want to participate in these in the future, keep an eye out. I'll make another post on Reddit at some point. I have 3 mods today, and I've already taken off the back caps of my HD6XX, my trusty boys here. First things first, this one is from Reddit user Unique Mix 9060. He has multiple models, so there's a set of open back and a closed back, and they both have these big reflectors on the inside of the cups here. So we have open back with reflectors and closed back with reflectors, and these are designed to just fit right in the same way that the stock grills here do. So you can just take them, press fit them in place, and then you've got a really, really big 6XX. Look at the size of this thing. I've got measurements of it here. Now, before I show you that, I want to show you, this is the stock HD6XX. This is this specific pair. The HD6XO line varies quite a bit, so they're all going to measure a little bit differently. It also depends on the condition of the pads, but in every measurement, the stock pair is going to be green. And here, you can see this mod is in purple or pink, somewhere in between the two. Let's say magenta. Shockingly closer to stock than I thought it would be. Pretty similar in the bass, a little bit more bass elevation. Notably, this is the biggest change, elevation between 2 and 3 kilohertz. So it's going to be more vocal forward, a little bit more present, maybe also a bit more shouty. But it looks good in the treble for the most part. It looks decent, especially above 10 kilohertz. We see some of the upper treble pulled down just a little bit more. Not bad. Now let's check out the closed back version. Now the closed back version, I measured multiple different ways, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let me get these put on here real quick. I did try these in both configurations, by the way, flipping sides, and this is the way that they ended up measuring and sounding the best. That is a very big closed back HD6XX. Now, the HD6XO series needs a lot of airspace if you want them to sound decent when they are closed back. Now, there are some things that are decent about a 6XX that doesn't have a ton of airspace. We'll see that with these later. But for the most part, usually they want more airspace. So this pair, closed back with reflectors, and as you can see, from like maybe 500-600 hertz up, they're really good, like excellent from like 500-600 hertz up, but under that in the bass, they really fall off. They get really strange. We have a strong dip around like 270 to 300 hertz, and the bass underneath that just plummets, which sucks. That's something that's really hard to fix, but there is a pad I know of you can put on headphones, specifically HD600s, that will increase the bass under 200 hertz a lot. And that is the Dakoni Choice Leather. I think that's what it's called. Dakoni Choice Leather, or the Elite Lambskin maybe? Jake, what are these pads called? I can't remember. I've had them for like 5 years. It's like 10:30 at night. Anyway, these increase bass under 200 hertz, a pretty fair bit. And this is what happens when you put those on. It's probably a bit too much bass under 200 hertz, and we do start getting some unevenness in the treble, but it does sound more linear. It's probably one of the closed back mods I've seen for the 600 that's closest to its stock sound. With some refinement, you could probably fix these things. So maybe that's an interesting direction to head in. Usually with a closed back, you're not gonna get away with velour pads though and be able to keep your bass. Just is what it is. So those are the different ways I measured that. Thank you, Reddit user Unique Mix 9060 for submitting these. Let's move on to the next set, which actually, these don't assemble the same way as the others. You actually have to pop this metal piece out. So you have the stock ring right here. There's glue in here, and you have to pop this metal grill out. And then these insert in all the way around. Now this is kind of tough, so I'm not going to do it on both sides for the sake of example, because I've already done this and I've already measured it all for you. But on one side, it looks like this. And honestly, do that in like black or something, that does look pretty sleek. I wish we could have a closed back HD6XO that was this small, but you're going to see why that doesn't necessarily work. This is by Reddit user Zapador, if I pronounced that correctly. Really decent above about 800 hertz. Underneath that, not excellent. Not having a lot of airspace for these makes them do really weird things in the base. If you did have these vented, maybe you put some like holes around here or something, or a slot to vent it and made it like a semi-closed, that would probably work pretty well. That might be worth trying. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. I don't know, what do you think? Think that's worth doing? I think it would be cool to have a more isolating 6XX that is nice and thin still. So maybe I'll end up trying that. I tried putting the Tacony pads on here also with this, and they did not like it. They got very, very angry with me, and the results were notably worse. So we don't want to go that route. Thank you, Zapador, for submitting these. And hey, if you want to come back at it with another revision, go for it. I would love to see what you can whip up, especially if you try something with like some vents or something like that. Maybe something that uses an acoustic mesh in the vents to improve the frequency response a little bit. Now, the one that I imagine some of you probably clicked the video for, it is these. These are made by Pud. If you've been on Reddit, you've probably seen him before. He makes some very esoteric and interesting headphones. You've probably seen a meme of him with a pair he calls Ol' Thumpy, and people were talking about like the humble hydrogen molecule or something like that. These are massive. I'm gonna put these on my head real quick. One sec. Actually, by the way, these are the Caldera closed. I am doing a review on these at some point, so if you want to see that, stick around, subscribe. I will probably post it early access on Floatplane, which is what I'm doing with a lot of my videos. How do I look? Now, these he calls the HD666. I can't figure out why. If you move your head, they do kind of wobble for a moment after you move, but they actually measured kind of decent. Still a little bit anemic in the base compared to the stock tuning, but pretty dang close. A leather pad is just too much for these. A leather pad is not gonna work. It just boosts the crap out of the lows and messes up the treble. So something in between would probably help these, or maybe just, again, a little bit of venting somewhere. But you can see how huge these are. Like, this is a lot of airspace. He's got them, you know, damped with some various materials in here, but it's still a lot of airspace. And the HD600, 6XX, and so on are still going, more, give me more air. They are relentless and need tons and tons and tons of airspace. And they also need more of your mods. By the way, if you want some more fun things like this, things that just make the audio hobby enjoyable and want to see this guy make wacky stuff, check out Pud's channel. It'll be a link in the video description. He makes all kinds of fun things. I actually got to see his wild studio when I went to Open Sauce this year, and there was some crazy projects there that he's working on. I'm personally fond of the ones that have a cassette player in the side of the headphones. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you have a mod you want me to try, either look out for the next post on Reddit or tag me somewhere. Tag me on, I don't know, Instagram or Twitter or Discord or one of those things, and let me know about your mod. If I see it, I will try and do this mod to a pair of HD6XOs, and you might see it in a future video like this. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of people trying to make the perfect closed back HD600, and honestly, somebody's gonna have to. The world has been asking for a closed back 600 for so long. With that said, short and sweet, let's wrap up this video, guys. If you liked it, leave a like down below, comment, let me know what you want to see in the future. If you want to get early access to videos, you can check out my Floatplane at the link in the video description. As always, don't forget to stick around and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Till next one, guys. Peace.